In this question, you can see potassium iodide and lead nitrate are both soluble. So they give you the hint here that these two are the soluble salt, and lead iodide is insoluble. Describe how a pure dry sample of lead iodide can be made from solid potassium iodide and solid lead nitrate. So first thing, you have solids. So if you have solid, there is no reaction of solid to, you should have a solution. So first what we will do, we will make the solution of these salts by adding water. But I told you, whenever you are writing a reaction to identify ionic precipitation, so first what you should do, you should write the symbolic equation. Potassium iodide, it's Ki, because potassium is group 1 and iodine is group 7. Lead nitrate, lead is always +2, so it's PbNO3 bracket 2. This will result in a formation of lead iodide, lead 2 iodide, so PbI2 plus potassium nitrate KNO3. But I should, this is a symbolic equation, but I should balance. So I have 6 oxygen on my left, I should have 6 oxygen on my right. So I put 2, so oxygen is balanced, and I will put 2, potassium and iodine are also balanced. This is a balance equation. But in the first thing, you can see the mention, you have a solid potassium iodide and solid lead nitrate. But actually it's a reaction of solution, not solid. So what we will do, we will add water. So one more extra step we have to do here. We'll add water to make salt solutions of potassium iodide and lead nitrate. So first step is we add a water and we make a solution of these two. Then if I make a solution of these two, what should be the ratio here? You can see, if the, according to equation, 2 molecules of lead iodide, sorry, 2 molecules of potassium iodide are reacting with 1 molecule of lead nitrate. So if I add 10 cm cube of potassium iodide to, how much lead nitrate I should take? So if I take 10 cm cube of potassium iodide, so I should take half of that, because ratio is 2:1. So take 5 cm cube of lead nitrate. Which form insoluble lead iodide. Then we will filter to remove lead iodide. Then we will wash with distilled water. And then we will dry with filter paper or tissue paper, both are right. Is it clear? This is how we prepare. Only the first extra step is done in this one. What was the first extra step? Because it was solid, so you should have a solution, not solid. Then write an ionic equation for formation of lead iodide when lead potassium iodide and lead nitrate are reacting with each other. State symbols are not required. In the question, they mention lead iodide is insoluble. So if lead iodide is insoluble, what is the technique to obtain insoluble salt? Is by mixing salt solutions. So the only technique which you use to obtain the insoluble salt is by adding salt solution. So you can identify. Filter paper or a tissue paper has a tendency to soak up the moisture. That's why we use any one of them. You can use tissue paper, you can also use a filter paper. So insoluble salt is always by mixing the two salt solutions. Now you want to write an ionic equation. So to write an ionic equation, potassium iodide, group 1 salts are soluble. This is aqueous, this one is solid and aqueous. So if I highlight the aqueous substance and cancel the common ion, so here potassium is common, that I will cancel, and nitrate is common, that also I will cancel. So what I'm left with? I'm left with 2 iodide ion. I'm writing the answer here. I'm left with 2 iodide ion and 1 lead ion. This result in a formation of lead 2 iodide. This is a ionic equation. In the question, they ask how to prepare a salt. The question is describe how a pure dry sample of lead iodide is prepared. And you can see a lead iodide is insoluble salt. So if it's an insoluble salt, you will use salt solutions to prepare the salt. So using a name of the salt, you should identify which technique is suitable. Is it clear? Any doubt in this part? So you can see you have lead iodide and you have lead nitrate, both are soluble. And you want to prepare lead iodide, potassium iodide and lead nitrate are soluble, and you want to prepare lead iodide. Lead iodide means insoluble salt. So if you want to prepare insoluble salt, you will use this technique, which is called ionic precipitation. Look, another similar question. Lead 2 sulfate is insoluble. So they give you the hint that it's an insoluble. So if a salt is insoluble, you will mix the salt solutions. Describe how would you prepare a dry lead 2 sulfate crystals starting from solution of lead nitrate and sodium sulfate. So you have sodium sulfate and lead nitrate, and you want to prepare lead sulfate. So the reactants are sodium sulfate and lead nitrate, lead 2 nitrate basically. This will result in a formation of lead sulfate plus sodium nitrate. And now you can see the ratio is 1:1. So it means that I should take the equal volume of the two solutions. So what we will do, if I take 10 cm cube of sodium sulfate, how much lead nitrate I should take? So it will mix with 10 cm cube of lead nitrate. So we take the equal volume because the ratio is the same. Then this will result solid or PPT of lead sulfate. Then we will filter to remove lead sulfate. Then we will wash with distilled water, and then we will dry with tissue paper or filter paper. So you can see a similar question. The only thing what is different, the first line, it's the ratio of the volume. It's always according to the equation. What is the ratio of the reactant molecule? That will be the ratio of the volume. Then we need an ionic equation for this. This will be aqueous, all nitrates aqueous, sulfate solid, all nitrate aqueous. So I highlight the aqueous substance and I cancel the common ions. So sodium ion is common, I cancel. Nitrate ion is common, I cancel. So what I'm left with? I'm left with one sulfate ion. It reacted with one lead ion. This result in a formation of lead sulfate. Is it clear? The precipitate which is formed here, because we have two solutions, you have two containers. First container is filled with lead nitrate. So lead nitrate is a soluble. The second container is filled with sodium sulfate. That's also soluble. So lead nitrate is soluble and sodium sulfate is also soluble. So you have two salt solutions. When you mix them together into another container, this will result in a formation of a precipitate, the solid. So what precipitate or what solid it will form? It will form a solid of lead sulfate. This is a precipitate. So how I can take out this lead sulfate from the solution? So it is insoluble, does not dissolve. That's why I'm using filtration. The precipitate means when you mix two solution and a solid is formed, this solid is called precipitate. Is it clear? So any doubt related to the topic class today? So we started with the concept of a titration. We discussed how we can prepare a salt by titration, and then this is the last part in which we prepare insoluble salt. So according to the question, you have to plan which method you will use, what are the reactants given, and which salt you are preparing. We'll do more questions related to this topic, acid, alkali, and salt. Still the topic will continue. We'll continue this topic. And regarding the weekly homework exercises, you can send me you're submitting the exercise at the same time, send your doubts also. Because instead of discussing in the class, I plan to make a video of the doubts and I will share with you. So when you're submitting your weekly homework, mention the question in which you have doubt in a specific exercise. So rate of reaction, I shared rate of reaction 4 exercises with you. So you can send me your doubts related to exercise 1, 2, 3, or 4, and I will make one video and share with you.